Hello. So today I would like to try to explain evolution in an understandable way, because it seems to me like many religious people and maybe some unreligious people have a hard time understanding how evolution can be the way of creating new species. So before I start this video, I would like all religious people that might be offended by evolution not to leave just quite yet. I will try to not offend you, and I will try to explain evolution in a way that everybody can agree with. So I guess one of the most common misconceptions is that evolution is random and that all our features are randomly selected, like our eyes are a very common example, that the eyes just happened. But that isn't quite right. You know, some parts of evolution are random, but the result is not. So, we all have our own genetics, our DNA. Most people would know that. And you get half of your DNA from your dad and half of your DNA from your mom. So you're 50% your dad and 50% your mom. However, there might be mistakes when those DNAs are combined. And these mistakes are what cause evolution. You know, you might have features that neither your mom or dad has. Then that might be a mistake, a flaw in the creation of your DNA. And these mistakes are random, more or less. So it's here where most would say evolution is random. But evolution doesn't stop there. It's more than just the mistakes. Imagine building a car. You're supposed to follow the instructions, but you know, you're human and you can do mistakes. So you're trying to follow these instructions, but say you're accidentally putting on winter tires when the instructions tell you to put on summer tires. That's a flaw. Your car is a failed version of the one in the instruction book. But if winter is about to come, your car might actually be better at handling the conditions than the car you were supposed to build, right? But if you make another flaw, say forgetting to put on tires at all, then your car will most likely not be better than the one in the instructions. But if you make a flaw that can promote the car's success, then that will help it to survive longer, even if it was a flaw that you did. The same works with genetics and DNA. Imagine that there isn't a lot of food in your village and most people are starving. And you get a child that has genetically flawed to be shorter and way less than everybody else. Then usually that would be a bad flaw, I would suppose. But if you don't have food enough, then that might actually help them to survive better, because they wouldn't need as much food as the others. So they would have a higher chance of survival, and therefore have a higher chance of being alive when it's time to procreate. So your child's flaw genes would have a better chance of being passed on. So his children will also have flawed genes, but that would help them, because if the food is still not enough for everybody, then if more people are short, more people will have a greater chance of survival, right? You're with me? So even if the mistakes are randomly generated, they are not randomly chosen to survive or not, because that's the conditions of the environment that choose what genetics are preferred. But one thing to keep in mind while talking evolution is that it takes time, a lot of time. You know, it wasn't like a monkey giving birth to a human because accidental genetic flaws. It's too much difference, and you won't get that big of a flaw. You might have a monkey with a little bit less hair. A little bit. You would barely notice, but it might be a little bit less hair the first time, and then keep going until you reach no hair, or, well, some hair, but not entirely covered in hair. So, if you believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old, or something like that, then I would agree with you. It's very hard to understand how evolution works, because you can't go from a monkey to a human in 6,000 years. Not even if you do the right flaw every generation. You know, it takes a lot of time. So scientists propose that the Earth is 4.6 billion years old, which is a little more. And that time scale, maybe people doesn't know how long time that is. It's hard to understand, because we're created to understand decades, maybe centuries, but not more, because we don't live on a longer time scale. So it's hard to grasp the vast numbers we're talking about here. But if the Earth is very, very, very old, about 5 billion years old, then it is possible to go from single cellular life and bacteria after a while to more complex creatures, and then to monkeys, and then to humans. The difference between the monkey that we come from and us, I think it's about 4 million years. So not even close to 4 billion years. It's 1,000 times smaller, but it's still 1,000 times longer than 6,000 years. Well, yeah. So I hope you've learned something about evolution, and maybe have a greater understanding of how it works. I know it's hard if you have constantly believed that humans are original from Adam and Eve, but this is how scientists think of evolution. So I just wanted to inform you that it's not random, and it is possible. I hope you all understand that it is possible to make slight improvements from generation to generation. But if you're still concerned about evolution, which I suppose you are if you just went in on this video without believing in it at all, then I would like to encourage you to write some arguments in the comment section. And I assure you that if someone is hating on you, I will delete their comments, because I don't want people to get upset by this video. So for those of you that do believe in evolution, please don't hate on religious comments. And I would like to answer your religious arguments with logical arguments, so we can have a discussion. I might learn things about religion, and maybe even turn to religious ways of thinking, and you might learn more about evolution. So thank you for watching this video. It's amazing that you decided to click on this video if you didn't believe in evolution from the beginning. See you.